I'm Eddie Cannell.
And I'm Tom Cannell.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Mortgage Brothers podcast show. In today's episode, we are talking about how to hold title. What does it mean to hold title? And depending on who you are and how you want to own the actual real estate, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean? Holding title, is that like holding a football? Like do you literally hold it? Actually, you probably can hold it, but that's not what we're really talking about, because it will come in the form of a piece of paper. But this is holding title. This is not your loan. Don't be confused with, who's on the loan. This is who's on title. This is like Monopoly. How many different properties have you purchased and do you have in your corner? Mm-hmm. Okay, right in front of you. I got Park Place. You got Jamestown. Those are things you own. You have to be on title.
What we'll do is we're going to bring up a page here from First American Title, and we're going to put this link in the description. Again, we are not title experts. We are not attorneys. We're just trying to give you information. We're mortgage professionals.
Yeah, we're just simple mortgage experts trying to give you a mortgage expert's opinion on holding title, because we get so many calls from this. So
definitely be seeking counsel if you really want to dive into this. So
okay,
number one, we're going to go over the four most popular ways to hold title, according to First American Title. But to start off with, one that they don't even cover is because if you're just one person and you want to own title or own property, how would you hold title? You would own it as a sole and separate, married person or unmarried, and you're just by yourself. On title, you own it.
All by yourself. Okay.
All by yourself. And again, when you die, it is up to your will to direct where your estate goes. You have to actually, something happens to you, you have to give instructions through the will, or you may have a trust set up. But the point is, that is the simplest way to hold title if you're just one person.
Okay,
separate.
That sounds very simple. Okay, what's next?
So what happens if you are married? And we're in Arizona, and we're a community property state. So we talk about community property state, or community property ownership. And so for a lot of states that aren't community property, you're not going to have this. But the point is, we're going to go over community property. So you can take title as community property or community property with rights of survivorship.
And with rights of survivorship, all that means is it automatically goes to your spouse. Okay? So don't let with rights of survivorship boggle your mind. All it means is it automatically goes to the other individual.
Yes, and so community property, remember, it has to be only two people. It has to be two spouses. You can't have three spouses, four spouses. These are just for two people who are married.
Okay,
and that's the one distinction there for sure. And then who is it? Who is that for? It's for married people. Okay, if you're married,
right?
Either way, you have to decide. Now, you would think, and I would think, a high percentage of people who are married want their part of their ownership of the property to go to their spouse when they die. But not all people. And why would you not want to have community property with rights of survivorship? Like, why would some people want to just have regular community property? Who would that be for?
Well, I think to just call out, a simple example would be, you have two couples that have come together that had previous marriages. And so she has her family, he has her family. They love each other very much. They are living, they together. They have community property together. But upon their passing, they don't necessarily want their interests to go to the other person's heirs. So in that regard, there could be, again, that community property ownership, but there be some reason why it would not automatically go to the other spouse.
Okay, yeah, it's something I didn't even think about really. Is that really kind of like who would be that would be good for that? And that's right. Okay. So let's talk about joint tenants. There's joint tenancy now.
That would mean tenants.
Yeah. What does a tenant mean? Are you paying rent?
Right.
Why does the law? Why do holding title they use the word tenants? Now, I was looking it up because I knew people were going to be confused because you're going to we're using the word tenancy. What does that mean? Does it mean you're owning or leasing the land? It comes from the old English, probably from the old feudal days, but it just has to do with we use that term when we were referring to owners that are severed from other owners, meaning there has to be multiple owners. If there are multiple owners of a property, there's a tenancy relationship between you two.
Yeah, I think
or 10 people, right?
Right. I think for this podcast, you just substitute the word party for tenants. It just there are parties, there are individuals, there are people. So don't let the tenancy confuse an already confusing topic. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
so joint tenants, you don't have to be married, right? You can, but you don't have to be married. You can have 10 people on title, but you all have to be equal. If you have 10 people on title, you need to all be 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And what's cool about joint tenants is that you can each separately convey your ownership to whoever you want, based off of your it depends. Joint tenancy if you just go with regular joint tenancy, you can convey however you want.
Right. And as long as you get the other tenants or the other parties permission to do that. So it's not like you're just, acting willy-nilly on your own. We'll be talking about a certain way to hold title to do things on your own. But with both community property and with tenants and
Joint tenancy?
Joint tenancy, you have to get the other person's permission. So that's very, very important, which gives you a lot of security and a lot of comfort. Okay, so that if someone decides to have a mental breakdown, you don't have to worry about them doing something that you do not approve of. Okay. All right. And there was the component, like what you just said, the rights of survivorship. So just like community property, again, all that means is it's automatic. If you have that rights of survivorship, it would go to the other tenants or the other parties.
Yes.
Okay.
So and now the least common that we're aware, like we rarely see tenancy in common. It's probably maybe it's more commercial property, maybe more investment driven commercial. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
can I just jump back real quick on that last one? Is give us an example of who would be a good fit for that,
the joint tenancy with either rights of survivorship or not,
or without. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a family that is going to go buy a cabin, and there's 6 people who are, and again, you're buying a cabin, you have ownership, and some people may have now. The joint tenancy is like they're all equal members, they're all family members, and they're all equally owning.
Yeah, I like that. And you can sell portions of that as long as you get the other parties to do that. And if you have a family cabin, you might not want the other person to be doing things without you knowing. So that, as long as that permission is granted, you could do that.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Perfect. I like that.
So the tenancy, this last one is the tenancy in common. This is really creative. I mean, it's really going to be I'm going to say ideal for people who are buying investment properties. And you have if someone puts up a lot of money and one person owns 80%, right? Someone can own 80% and the rest of the people, you could have 10 other people who own, 2%.
Mm-hmm. This is the most autonomous way to own property. You don't have once you own it and you're on title, you can encumber it by yourself. You can sell it by yourself. You don't have to get anyone's permission. It's like
you can sell your share.
Your share, right? You cannot sell the property, but you can sell your share in that property. So this is the most individual or the most autonomous way to hold title. And I think very typical for partnerships.
Now, it does say here, require signatures of all tenants to convey or encumber the whole. Okay, so to convey.
That's right.
Yeah.
As long you cannot
if
sell
you were
it.
selling your portion or your portion to someone else, like a complete stranger, you can do it, but you need all the other tenants or you need all the other owners to sign
actually, I think what they're saying on that is you just can't convey the property. You can actually convey convey your share, but you cannot convey the property.
Okay. Each tenant share can, okay, so requires signatures is only to probably sell.
To sell the property, right? You can't wake up one day and all of a sudden your other partner says, "Hey, we sold it. We sold the property, by the way." But he can wake up one day and say, "Listen, something's changed. I need to get out of this property, and I'm going to be selling it to my nephew." And so George, meet my nephew, Alan. That happens, and again, that's why it's a great way to hold title for partnerships.
Yeah. Okay. So folks, I hope that helps a lot, just because these are the questions we get. And if you like what we're doing here at the Mortgage Brothers team with this podcast, be sure to subscribe to our channel, click the thumbs up and the like button, and be sure to email us or call us with any questions you have.
All right. Thanks a lot, folks.
Take care, everyone. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Mortgage Brothers podcast. Please let us know if you have any questions you'd like us to answer. You can email your questions to team@azmortgagebrothers.com. And be sure to ask us for a free quote on your next mortgage. We'll be sure to give you personalized service and help you through the whole process. Signature Home Loans, LLC does not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. This material has been prepared for informational purposes only. You should consult your own tax, legal, and accounting advisors before engaging in any transaction. Signature Home Loans, NMLS 1007154, NMLS number 210917, and 1618695, Equal Housing Lender.